So touching on what is more accessible, I think that I would honestly recommend some of these guided meditations because that is, just a stage that's more easy to grasp for someone who's a beginner. And I even have some of these online that I can certainly share. But these guided meditations kind of allow you to be led into the meditation, and sometimes it's a training of the mind. It's kind of this increasing of the gray matter in the mind, which allows us to stay present, which moves into our next pinnacle, which is mindfulness. So sometimes it's like we have to develop that muscle to move into what is like pure form meditation. And in all styles of meditation around the world, there's usually this sort of sequential development towards some of those higher stages of meditation. So in yoga, that would be pratyahara, which for all of you who've been to a yoga class or practiced a yoga class in your home, there's the shavasana at the end. The shavasana is a relaxation. Often there's maybe somewhat of a guided element to that that brings you back to your breath. Whereas in a yoga session, you might start with the breath. It brings you back to something that's grounding. It goes right into our next pinnacle of mindfulness. But um, it's tricky because I do want to say at this time, yes, we're in a very unique time, as you're really mentioning and highlighting in the introduction. Also, I think I just want to kind of offer this tip to be cautious, I think, with the technology, because there's so many studies about how it really can increase our anxiety and some of those stress hormones. And while yoga is this beautiful counter to that, that's why we're here, that's what we're talking about. It's important to kind of have that intention and set that space, even if you're going to YouTube to watch, say, a yoga nidra. So yoga nidra is from one of the main schools that I studied under, which is the Bihar School of Yoga. But really, yoga nidra was likely around prior to that. It's been mentioned in many of the ancient texts. And so if you are going to YouTube and you want to look for a guided yoga nidra, that's a wonderful way to find a guided relaxation. And then, you might also personally see, this is something that participants can unravel for themselves, is sound something that really works for you? Maybe for some people, the sound of a repetitive mantra or a chant is really beautiful. Understanding the significance of that. And it's like a prayer in a sense, focusing your awareness on something higher versus in the lower chakras or the lower kind of realms of our existence. Sometimes we're very focused on things that are certainly important. Our basic needs, as you were mentioning, some of those have been kind of challenged in this current time. And none of this is to take away from the reality of those things. However, it's nice for us to move into that space where we can think about something larger and move into kind of our higher intellect and our connection to source, our connection to the universe. And this is the purpose of yoga. So these guided relaxations can be the yoga nidras that are available online, maybe some of the sound bowl healings. There's another, personal favorite, you did ask me this, in terms of meditation, which is Sufi meditation for me. So there's many forms of Sufi meditation, just like in yoga, there's actually several types of meditation. But in Sufism and Sufi meditation, not so much the swirling dervishes, not the kind of standing and swirling and dancing in place, but more so the music. So it's very similar in a sense to Indian ragas, which I find very meditative. And that could be like a next stage after these guided meditations, is to really appreciate and value the beauty of this array of Indian ragas, which is designed for meditation and to move you into that space. I'm frankly obsessed with ragas, so I love them so much, and they're conducive. I mean, they're meant to bring you into that state of meditation.